Hello and welcome back to the Hellcase Cup 8. We're going to be going into our second map of a best-of-3 series, and it is going to be an attempted comeback now from ESPADA. They started both halves of the last map strong on Mirage, but unfortunately they couldn't quite go up against the power that is forZe. And now, well, they're right into our pistol round. T-side start. It was a nice win for ESPADA. facecrack going to be kicking things off, and oh, these are some whiffs, but luckily they have still been able to find a kill elsewhere. Patsi gets one, but he's left in the open, and this is quickly diminished. One of the things I just credited them for was the start. Unfortunately, they're now not going to be getting off to a good one.
FinigaN trying to use these flowers to his advantage. But at this point, if that's your best bet, then you're not really winning the round. I think it's fair to say.
He doesn't even know he's being flanked.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's a little bit messy from almazer, but it is going to be the kill. I do wonder if because a lot of teams seem to have like a gentleman's agreement about the skins, but it seems like on the side of forZe, they're not using any of them. And then I think it is FinigaN's using one of the ones that would actually somewhat blend him in a little bit to some of the flowers, so he's clearly a bit of a scumbag, but you know.
Wow. Don't even know the guy, never met him whatsoever.
You don't know.
But
he
just
could,
from that,
he could be my cousin.
He could be.
He's not, but he could be.
He could be, which is the important
That's
thing.
the point. You can't assume who I do and don't know.
All right.
I'll have you know, I met Simple in a supermarket once, so we're basically brothers now.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And you met Dendy as well, so you're like, you got some weird family going on. All the esports greats in one family.
Yeah, I'm basically Ukrainian now.
Nice.
Here we go, facecrack. This is the sort of plays we like to see from him, running, gunning, even jumping a little bit. And almazer, he's gone for the USP. As said in the last, I really, really hate seeing a player not bother investing into an SMG, especially when it takes as little as what, 1-2 kills to basically make the money back. And even then, it's such a small amount that it really shouldn't be something that they're favoring. I do wonder also if he's going to drop an AWP over to xsepower in this next round. Also, the other thing that interests me, if you are going to be like basically trying to make sure that your AWP has extra money, why is he not playing with the Max?
Yeah, true. Lots of points there. I think as well, just with how prevalent full spies are right now, going for like the full save in the second round it's just too risky. I feel like more often than not, you're up against a full spy in the second round.
Yeah.
It used to be a situation where you probably could get away with going for those USP or Glock rounds much more frequently. But yeah, now not a massive fan of it. It works out this time though. He landed a headshot with the USP. And here's the other thing is, you don't need an AWP in this round in particular, do you? You're up against another low buy. Speaking of low, the odds on forZe pretty low right now, considering they won that first map. ESPADA, big underdogs heading into Inferno and heading into the rest of the series. And almazer is continuing to not buy. This is where it makes more sense, up against what is basically a full save. But almazer is going to be balling, assuming they win this round.
I still don't like it. Like, buy at least a Tech 9 or an SMG. Like, you got 7k. Do you really? Does it really worth saving it? Because that's the thing. If he now dies, even that would have been just worth getting a Mac 10 and just making sure. Nice shot from FinigaN though. And already this round is starting to slip away from them. That USP seems a little bit silly now, doesn't it? It seems a bit silly, as he would have easily got that kill if he had any other gun. Now it's down to xsepower. Good thing he does have an AK-47, but there's been a retrieval of a gun elsewhere. There is a real chance that he still wins them this round, but there's a part of me that almost wants him to lose it just for that 2 players just running pistols in this round.
Hey, it wasn't him that ran the pistol, so he's allowed to win the round.
That doesn't mean I can curse him as well.
Damn.
I don't give a damn.
You don't give a damn.
Have you seen the video with the Coca-Cola Pepsi glass?
I'm
I don't
lost.
give a damn. It's like some kid. Well, and I've basically described exactly what he does, but it's just one of my favorite videos. But either way, this clutch has taken a little bit longer, so I've waffled. So anybody clipping this, make sure to edit that bit out, as the 1v2 is going to continue, as the bomb has now been planted with xsepower looking to try and bring this one home. They don't have a kip. They have retrieved an AK. Neither player with armor, so they almost need to try and take this one together. Look for that trade kill instead. It's going to be the 1v1. That's exactly what xsepower wanted. The nade could even do, well, I was going to say a large amount, but it's in fact 1 HP worth of damage, and Patsi needs his kill instantly, and it won't happen. Almazer, you owe this man a beer, as he's just saved you from a cataclysmic error.
Yeah, clearly xsepower don't give a damn. Winning the clutch for his team, getting it going with the 3-0 lead, and as you were saying, I mean, to his credit, he now drops xsepower and AWP as a reward for winning that clutch. That's why almazer was saving the money in the first place. So I guess that's kind of a reward in and of itself.
xsepower only had 6,000.
I know, he wouldn't have been able to get it by himself, right?
Yeah, I'm still not a fan.
Well, it has worked for them, at least in the sense of they are going to have some good money in the bank. They would have probably had good money in the bank, though, if they'd have bought the gun as well, like you were saying. But whatever. We can move past this almost round loss that forZe really did not want to happen, but xsepower bailed them out. Nice to have the replay of this clutch while the technical pause is going on through. I think it's one of the forZe players that's dropped from the server. It is Jerry that's gone, so you definitely don't want to be playing without your in-game leader, that's for sure. You'd be running around like headless chickens. So they will be waiting for him to get back on the server.
Well, yeah, me and him make obviously a deadly duo, because together we are Tom and Jerry. But yeah, no, I think hopefully he'll get it back fairly soon. That is an issue that occurs fairly commonly. Like, we saw a fair few of the Na'Vi players also having internet issues. In fact, one of the days, Perfecto actually had to move between his own apartment and the, I guess the LAN center or the team house, whatever.
Yeah, it's like the Na'Vi offices maybe or something.
Yeah. It is kind of weird that they have that all set up, and the players, majority of them aren't actually here. So I wonder if that'll be something that Na'Vi actually opt to use. They did manage to win the CIS RMR, but definitely had some issues, and I think versus some better teams they might struggle a little bit. Of course, the stats for now are pretty straightforward. xsepower has been banging it, facecrack has been going for those openers, and Flit's so good he's on the board twice.
Yeah, man.
But
he's cloned himself.
Yeah, we haven't really seen too much, and I think this is going to be a really tough one, because we saw a 16-14 scoreline with both pistols and a fair few like follow-up rounds, like both halves. So I think we're 6-1 and 5-0. So if you're at the start of halves giving yourself an 11-1 lead and then still losing, that's a big issue. Sure, it's not quite as straightforward as that, because it wasn't in those sort of streaks. Like, it wasn't 11 rounds in a row, but those are still positions where if a Sparta can't win out a map in that scenario, it really worries me for this sort of scenario.
Yeah, the other thing we noticed with ESPADA is that even though a lot of the times they seem to play maps close or even rounds close, it always feels like they're missing just that final thing to push them over the edge, right? Maybe they'll bring a round into a 2v2 or a 2v3 or a 3v3, but then they won't have the fortitude to really come through and make the play in that moment which wins them the round. Oftentimes they have good starts to the rounds, but then just can't close them out, even when they set themselves up in pretty good positions. And we saw that, I think, throughout Mirage, where it felt like the game was pretty close, but at the same time, ESPADA have to be able to actually close out those victories and those close rounds, which forZe just continue to just about edge out. And right now, they've edged out the first few rounds here on Inferno as well with this 3-0 lead. We now have 2 face cracks on the server rather than 2 flits, which is an even more frightening prospect. Imagine having 2 face cracks to entry with, man.
It sounds like it would either go really well or catastrophically wrong. I feel like that would be like having multiple Krads. Like, it just seems terrifying as a concept. But even still, fingers crossed they will be getting back into the server relatively soon. And there you go. I can see Jerry, in fact, although it might be very confusing, the scoreboard at the moment, Jerry is there. Like, I can see him. So I'm hoping the scoreboard's going to fix itself. Might need a round restart to do that. There we go. He's appeared, although the money is exactly the same. Either that's a coincidence or it's bugged, but who knows? We'll find out eventually. We are into our first proper buy round. Of course, the CT side saved some extra cash to be here. And they do have a reasonable amount of utility for what is the first find.
Ooh, xsepower, blind kill. Wow,
Oh,
Jerry
no.
also a blind kill, threw a smoke on top of it. So after waiting so long for this round, ESPADA in their first gun round are getting completely outplayed across the board. Jerry this time with a flash assist. And that early utility, it looked all right for ESPADA until forZe get those kills while blind.
Good luck to Dima. Patsy's already gone down, and wow, facecrack's just going to end you. That is one of the cleanest rounds I've seen in a while, especially with every single duel going the way. The CT side now in a bit of an awkward spot where financially they could go for a bit of a risk. I hope they don't. Maybe FinigaN can invest in an SMG instead of going for the pistols, but other than that, this has been a dominant start, and this is what we wanted to see from forZe, proving that they are one of those teams that we can still rely on to basically prove themselves within the Tier 2, Tier 3 scene, and it's looking much better from them.
Yeah, much improved. Just looking solid in that round, getting those kills. Obviously, a little bit of luck involved, but at the same time, I say luck, but you have to know the lineups and you have to know the angles. And if you pull the trigger at the right position, then sometimes you're going to get the man through the smoke. And now ESPADA have to respect that banana area. They're playing it super safe in this round, even with the pistols. Stacking back towards the site itself. And that's allowing forZe to take free banana control at the start of this one. Okay, xsepower shoots his teammate in the backside. Almazer's down to half health because of that. So just that one flashbang ends up doing 50 damage inadvertently, which is pretty impressive for a flashbang. forZe continue to keep it slow though, continue to play across the map. They've still got 50 seconds left and plenty of nades to make up their minds.
These rounds are the ones that can get a little bit rough for the T side, especially with these smokes down. No fear, of course, from facecrack. Pre-fired a couple of angles. It seems like degster has just whiffed. So that will be the round over. almazer's actually got to be a little bit careful here because he's already tagged. Doesn't want to give them a second AK, but he might actually take away the first. That is brutal. That was one of the weapons that they could have saved. Now, I'm hoping both CT players will look to try and hunt this man down instead, because they'd have a chance at a 2v1. Instead, it's just going to be one man, Patsi, and the other is looking to try and basically deny the remaining players from escaping.
There we go. Patsy's been caught on the other side of the map. ZOREE looking for his first kill here. Might be moving into banana. He hears the steps of the players close by, so might as well give it a go, but xsepower was there waiting for him. 6-0 now on xsepower for what it's worth, continuing his fine form that he started over on Mirage. Here comes the buy for ESPADA though. Another slow start for Dima, who was a bit quiet over on the first map. ZOREE also yet to get a kill on the board. degster's now got the AWP in his hands. This is a chance for him to really try and stake his claim as the best player on ESPADA. If he wants to step up in this round, certainly would be a time to do it, because ESPADA have not shown many signs of life so far on Inferno.
Yeah, and this is as good as a buy as they'll get. If this is as easy as the last few have been, might be about to see a dominant score.
What?
I don't know what's just happened. Did he drop the server or did he?
No, he's on banana. He must have died to his molly.
So, yeah, I don't know what's happened there. He killed himself by the looks of it, but that is not what we were hoping for. Patsi desperately trying to survive, but they are all getting bodied. The flashbang over the top leaves FinigaN blind and now being spotted. There was no real chance for him. Dima, save.
He will oblige. He will listen to you, Tom. Probably listen to his own brain, which would tell him he's not winning this round. Yeah, a bit of a weird one, especially with sophiX still not having a kill on the board. I guess he's -1 now after dying to what I think was his own molly on banana. I believe he was trying to push into banana, and maybe forZe used some nades of their own, which caused him the issues. But yeah, this has been a really slow start for ESPADA. And we were saying heading into this one, we were a bit worried for them. Even though that first map was close, Mirage is a map they're much more comfortable on. and they want both those pistols. And as soon as they don't win the pistol here, these gun rounds have just been heavily going against them. And there we go, sophiX is on -1 kill, so he's got to hope to turn that around at some point. Can we get a replay? Oh, okay, no.
So something else, he's already dead.
Yeah, the replay man's being nice, not showing sophiX mistakes.
But yeah, this has been really clean so far from forZe. They're just aggressive plays, pushing, taking fights, trading effectively. xsepower yet to die. They're 8-1 for almazer. Like, you really can't ask for much more. 152 ADR from Jerry as well is ridiculous. So, in all honesty, this is a big worry, especially so early on in the game to go 6-0 down. The T side from forZe has been pretty impressive.
Can head on over to Hellcase while we have this one-sided game on our hands. If you get a bit bored, you can use the code SLTV15 for a 15% refill bonus. xsepower is almost maxed out on cash ahead of this round. $15,000 almost in his back pocket, so you might as well get a bit frisky with the AWP. You know you've got enough money to rebuy it anyway. He's going to go for a fight at top mid, although that won't be allowed with degster putting down the molly. Either way, forZe, I think, having a lot more freedom now, it feels like. You see some of these players starting to just want to take fights. They are very confident right now, and with good reason, because I think almazer has 8 kills, and I think that's the exact same total that all of ESPADA have between them, which gives you a rough idea of how this game has been going so far.
Yeah, the battles as well for certain portions of the map have not been going well at all. And even this purchase is a weak one. They have a couple of smokes, which can at least deny some of the presence of banana, but it's not really going to quell the attack if they look to go in that direction. Flit actually playing a bit more of a lurk, and he's going to be able to get quite far out of the apartments because it's only the players on the boost that are really going to notice anything. Nice flashbang, and actually sophiX going to be able to get back around the corner. That's exactly what they needed. He's got to be very careful, though, playing this close angle, especially considering he's low. Now there's the kill from almazer as well, lurking back around. I wonder if this might be the chance to actually split back in that direction. FinigaN with a freebie. But now knowing there's a player up on this boost, there's a real chance that the trade kill will come in almost instantly. There's nobody watching on that A side. In fact, the remaining players actually looking to go into B. This is a real chance for the CT side, but a good entry. Now it's left on to Dima, and the rotation's actually going to be there. Only one man left, and it's xsepower. No real time. He's got to try and go for a risky plant, just hiding around the corner. He should be dead for sure, and with a missed shot, he will be, or maybe not. I would have expected Dima to try and actually help out his teammate, but instead, he takes too much time. Now xsepower's actually got a chance to keep this flawless streak going. FinigaN low. Actually going to be rotating in. He might be able to catch him as he goes past the angle. That's the free kill as well for xsepower, and degster desperately looking to try and find this trade. He does have a kit available, already running back around, but it's a whiff. It's a missed shot, but everybody's missing, and xsepower gets the kill. That is such a bad round for ESPADA. That 1v3, I actually don't think it could have been played any worse.
How is he alive, Tom? How is he alive? How does Dima not get this kill in the first place? That's the first question. Oh, he somehow gets behind the fountain. Then the second one is more understandable. FinigaN didn't have much of a chance. He was trying to bait out the shot while jumping. But then this is just... I mean, there are no words.
I think most people would have just given up. Like, I think if I'm in that position, if I miss my op shot, I just accept my fate. But xsepower was like... he could still screw this up. Like, I don't even know how that's happened. I'm more annoyed by the fact that I don't understand why, if Dima's pushing, the other player should just go through the smoke. Because if you play that together, there's basically a 0% chance he can go anywhere because he's stuck on the site planting the bomb. Instead, the other player opts to play it safe and Dima opts to play it aggressive, which you either do one or the other. You do both together. There's no option where one of you peaks and one of you doesn't. And Dima, this time, he's going to be able to get the kill with the deke. Flit has been good at holding off rotations and looks to continue that trend. While degster, you can understand it this time. Tries to get a little bit aggressive, but this is already the half won before a round even graces the board for ESPADA.
You know what the worst thing about that 1v1 at the end is as well? It's that because it's a 1v1, everyone else is dead. So everyone saw that. Every single one of his teammates saw what just happened. And they just have to accept it. Being 8-0 down. Double AWP setup coming into play. sLowi still technically on 0 kills. Although remember, he died to his own molly previously. So I guess he has kind of got 1 kill on the board. Over on the other side, though, xsepower still up there at 9-0. Still yet to die so far in this game. Let's see if the double AWP setup for ESPADA is what they were looking for. Run boost to mid, but degster gets fully flashed by that. So he's forced away from that position, having to play a bit more safe. And ESPADA, I think, have given up on that banana control. At least in this round, they will not be fighting for it early. Instead, looking for a double stack over in the apartments. But this time around, forZe taking it nice and slow at the start of this one. Grouping up quite a few of their players over on the A side of the map, but definitely not having to commit to anything just yet.
I wonder if the double AWP might be a sign of desperation for ESPADA. And sLowi definitely not renowned for this role, but then again, with only 1 kill, and yes, I said 1 kill, well, technically 2. Because there's a team kill in there as well. He is having a bit of a rough one. But they're now gambling quite heavily that he's going to pull off a big round. If this switch up comes in, this could be a real problem. Again, we hear the call from Jerry to bring this back towards the B site. He's playing such an aggro angle as well that there's not really much he can do here. There's going to be actually the nade expended, but it's not going to do too much, and you can see galloping around the CT spawn is Dima, desperately trying to get him to help, but the fact is they're going through the smoke. They're going to pressure this site already. sLowi, he does connect the first shot, repositions, and Dima's helped him out. Dima doing fantastic work around the edge of the smoke. It's now left all onto Jerry, and he at least wants to try and make this costly.
Oh, gap in the CT smoke for forZe is inexcusable, in all honesty. That's what costs them there. Dima's able to get 2 kills on the edge of the smoke. And if Dima was unable to line up those shots to begin with, that's where the AWPer on the site would have been really pressured. That's where sLowi would have actually had a tough time on his hands. But because the attention is drawn both ways, sLowi remains actually fairly safe and actually fairly comfortable from his position. So just that one missed smoke, that one gap in the smoke, basically puts that round over before it can even really begin for forZe. They don't really get a chance to run the play that they wanted to. And now degster, great shot onto xsepower, turning around so quickly. xsepower was not ready for that position. So nice start to the round for degster. Finally, some signs of success, some signs of life from ESPADA here. After getting their first round win on the board, they've got themselves the man advantage and a chance to try and make it a second round.
Yeah, if they can streak this back, there's definitely some possibilities of them doing some damage, at least on the T side, although I will say xsepower is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to the CT side of this map. Which is going to be coming up the top. almazer. Quick enough on the trigger. There's going to be degster here with the AWP, not having his best game so far, and he might be caught actually transitioning back to the site itself, but he has managed to get the kill. Flashbangs over the top, leaving completely blind, but there is now 3 men waiting on this side of the map. However, it seems like forZe might be having second thoughts.
Yeah, they have time to work with. 35 seconds on the clock, but they are sticking around on banana. Looks like forZe have made up their minds here. This one CT smoke needs to be good, and this time it is. There are 2 players on the site they have to deal with, and almazer gets the initial kill. Jerry with one of his own, and just like that, the whole collapses for ESPADA. Both players instantly dealt with. And even though the rotate is here from ESPADA, I don't know if it's arrived in time. Patsi's trying to line up a flashbang for his teammate. FinigaN will lead the way, but there's no one giving him the initial fight. And I doubt this one is going to be won by ESPADA at this point. almazer's holding this angle with the AWP. Ooh, he lands the shot. Doesn't do much damage with it, though. As ESPADA try and bail on out of this round. FinigaN looking for a fight, but Flit's there to stop him. Patsi will be able to save 1 rifle at the very least. But that is not the outcome that ESPADA were hoping for in this round, especially after they got the man advantage to begin with.
Yeah, It honestly seems like they're just getting absolutely outclassed on Inferno. I think it was a necessity that they win on Mirage and a 9-1 score. And we have seen a 12-3 comeback already, but that was on the favored side of the map, whereas this is them getting dominated by the T side. It's at least seeing some impact, but that was really nice from almazer. A little bit of luck that went a long way. And even in this situation, it looked like it was about to go in their direction, but again, almazer has been playing fantastically well, and that seems to be the case for pretty much the whole forZe lineup.
Ooh, 2 AWPs continue for ESPADA, and degster switches up his positioning at the start of the round. Almost gets the chance for the second, but it's almazer who closes the distance. Trying to see if he can take a closer range fight, and wow, Dima just took that nade to the face, down to 40 health, and then Jerry follows through. Looks like degster will not be giving up on Banana. He goes back for more, and Jerry was boosted up over the half wall. So now FinigaN is left alone, and he can't hold. sLowi will try his luck, and finally a shot is landed. But over on the other side of the map, Flit has got the 1 kill that was needed to bring the bomb all the way back round. And sLowi's trying to see if he can get back here in time, but I don't know if he's going to be able to clear out Flit in the first place. Flit is trying to look for this kill. sLowi is aware of it, but it doesn't matter. Flit is so fast.
Yeah, he's been having a good time just lurking around on the A site. It hasn't really been the point of pressure so far. And the fact is, most of the time, he's only been cleaning up 1 or 2 kills because the rest of his team have just been wiping out mainly stacked sites, which is quite weird, really. If I was going to say about the decision-making of ESPADA, it's actually not been that bad. Like, their gamble stacks on the B site most of the time have been correct. They've had the right players in the right place at the right time. Unfortunately, they're not as good as forZe. I think that's basically it. Individually, they just can't match up to this squad. And this is what I always wanted to see from forZe. Like, it's a little bit loose. Ooh, those are rough. And they're basically just going off the calls of Jerry, or that's at least what it looks like. And one of the things I'll always give props to Jerry for is that a lot of the time his decision making is spot on.
I don't know how facecrack has only got $2,300 in the bank while everyone else is so rich. I guess, yeah, yeah, but you want someone to drop him. Like, Flit, spread the wealth a bit, man.
I guess they drop if he needs it.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't need to just drop him for the sake of it. I guess when you have this much money, you could to stop it hitting max, but they're not going to run out of cash until the end anyway, so it's not the biggest of deals.
Money isn't everything, is what you're telling me, Tom.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's pretty good. Patsi with the Mag 7. Always a gun that I feel is very unreliable. Not that it's going to be used because almazer's caught him out. almazer with 2 entries. He's been doing some entry work as well as almazer, and that was nearly set to continue as he chunks Dima down to 8 points of health. I think forZe have realized the rotates come over to A though, and unfortunately for ESPADA, they will be waving the white flag in this one.
Yeah, it gets to the point even where I wonder if it might just be worth risking it to try and get a gun, play for some exits.
Probably.
What have you got at this point? Like the opposing team about to keep 5 alive in a round where they don't even need to. So yeah, they might as well try and do something here. I do feel like even just on a mentality basis, this is looking like they're out of this one. Like even just what sLowi was doing there.
Yeah.
Like you're making more noise for no reason, and when you don't know what positions they've actually taken already. So this has been an absolute beatdown, and I think ESPADA might be mentally checked out.
Yeah, sLowi was just trying to hit some sweet hops there more than anything. Not going to work for him though. almazer with a 3rd kill on the round. And Flit will be looking to pad those stats a bit at the end here. Again, there is no need to hunt these players, but at the same time, might as well get some kills on the board, I guess is the way that Flit's looking at it. FinigaN just crouched in a corner on the site, hoping to save the Kevlar, which he will be able to do. So I guess there is something saved for ESPADA. It is back to the double AWP setup for the CTs. It's not been very effective for them so far. Then again, no one's been effective for them so far, so it's not exactly a slight on them to say that. xsepower slowed down a little bit, but I think that's just because the riflers have been playing aggressive and have been winning the rounds without needing xsepower's AWP to do a whole deal. Spiidi getting aggressive in the apartments right here, and forZe are about to spot that out. There's the AWP on the angle. degster lands the first shot, and he goes back for more. Big risk taken in that second fight, but at this point, Spiidi are happy to take risks to try and win themselves rounds. And with a 5v3 advantage, this has got to be a round that they win if they want to try and come back here.
Yeah, that's at least a good start. Like they've managed to get themselves the advantage, but we've seen them let these rounds slip away, and a lot of it comes down to this B site. NaToSaphiX, he's been picking up an AWP, and well, I can't really say that it matters in terms of finances at this point, but he's only got 3 kills, 4 if you remove that TK that he got earlier. But even still, that's an abysmal showing. So we'll see if he can get anything done here. At least hitting the first shot would be nice, but he's left completely blind, forced to fall back. Dima does a lot of damage. Nade actually going to drop away, but I think it bounced off something and somehow killed his opposition. Jerry, he's good for 1, but ultimately so low on HP, but he gets a second as well. Still looking to drag this back as they sit in a 3v2. HP advantage firmly with the side of ESPADA. They do have a kit available, but not much utility, and it's going to be a risk-taken. xsepower, so good in this game so far. 10 and 2, looking for a little bit more, looking for a chance to pad those stats, and Jerry has caught another, and he knows exactly where the last man is. Again, another round that ESPADA should have easily taken. A 5-on-3, even getting the extra kills for a 4-on-2, and they still lose it, Alex. Can we just call this GG?
Yeah, I'm about ready to hit that point right now. I think it's nearly about that time. Whatever forZe do, it seems like they just win the rounds. They can do no wrong right now. xsepower and Jerry coming up with a big round win for their team. And that was the first time that xsepower was really required in one of these recent rounds. Prior to that, it'd been the rest of the players winning rounds, but this time he was called upon and he answered that call. 12-1 lead for forZe. Smoke going down for FinigaN into top mid. xsepower was trying to peek through that, but he decided that wasn't a risk worth taking, considering they're up against pistols. I mean, if anything reeks of desperation here, it's the fact that ESPADA have stacked 5 on A without really having any information. That to me just says, let's try and guess what site they're going to hit and maybe hope that we can get some pistol kills, which I guess is understandable. They haven't been winning with rifles, so with pistols, they try and stack the right site. Unfortunately, they've got the read wrong, though. The B site's going to be wide open, and Dima will be able to do little to stop this. He is already gone, as is this round, realistically.
Yeah, again, they're just looking to try and get some exits and retrieve some extra weaponry. It's not been about damage to their opponent's economy. Even just some confidence would be good, because they're unable to even take easy duels in good positions for them. Nice shot from Patsi. I am surprised to just see degster just sat on the other side of the map. Maybe just trying to save Kevlar, but like realistically, you should just be running in here, just trying to get some kills, try and boost your confidence a little bit. I don't understand saving. I just don't see the point. And facecrack, in fact, is just going to take the decision to die.
I mean, that's one way to make sure they don't get an AK, right? Can't get to that AK on the site. He's going to be able to rebuy anyway. Yeah, over on the ESPADA side of things...
They've made a nice pattern. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful.
Wait, 3, 4... No, it's not a nice pattern. It's 3, 4, 6, 7, 5.
Yeah, but it's nice if you do it in order. Because they do they have an order of kills.
Okay, yeah,
I'm sure
I see what you mean.
Scoreboard, it would probably be in order, but it's not, because we're looking just at their names.
Very true, Tom. Very true.
So hush your gums.
You just destroyed me with logic and facts.
Oh, 13-1. They've got an AWP and some nades. I'm really not sure what to say at this point, because this has been one of the most one-sided maps I've ever seen.
You said that a lot today.
Yeah, but this is definitely the worst. Their cheeks have been clapped, that's for sure.
Wow, I never thought I'd hear that said in a cast. It's the first time for everything.
You have now. Of course he's going to get absolutely wrecked while blind and through smoke and an instant headshot. degster is low, but the wraparound hasn't succeeded. They could go back to B, but that would be a little bit audacious. Patsi within the pit. He's going to start burning. He's just going to sit within the flames, cooking down, and finally we see something going their way, but with facecrack and Flit still standing, there is a possibility. Patsi's low, but there's a freebie kill for Dima. And facecrack actually only with 8 bullets, so he needs to tap some heads rather than cheeks.
Yeah, that's what he'll be aiming for. Although with 2 players low on health, just tapping some cheeks might be a viable option at this point. Oh, he's sitting at the back of the site. They're going to push him. Oh, no. Ooh, degster goes down. 4 bullets now. He's got to be clinical, and he is not. Patsi ends up finding that final frag of the first half. 13-2 in favor of forZe. At least a second round on the board for ESPADA, but, I mean, I'm going to be honest, Tom, I don't believe. I don't know if they believe. If anyone out there believes, please let me know, because it's not looking good.
No, I think also if you do believe at this point, you should go get yourself checked, because that must be some sort of clinical insanity. They'll probably bring it back now, and there'll be one guy who typed "I believe" and will tweet at me and tell me I'm a fool, but that was brutal. Like, that was almost painful to watch. Just for the record, those scores are wrong. It is forZe in the lead, 13-2. It will, I imagine, flip back the second we get out of this wide screen cam. It's a free cam that is confusing everybody. And there you go. So yeah, they need a fair few rounds. The pistol would definitely be the start of the road back to redemption. Flit looking to get aggressive, and he spotted multiple players, so I don't think he's going to go for anything overly aggressive here. 4 players currently reside within this site. Nice flashbang from almazer, again setting up the push, but now the remaining Ts are going to go and bombard the A site. And I quite like this from Flit. He's not playing aggro, he's not playing for the fights. He's basically just waiting for his teammates to arrive so they can take this one together and look to get that retake on.
That is the aim of the game right now for forZe. sLowi. Oh, how does he not win that? xsepower's on 1 health. That's so frustrating for sLowi. He's had a couple of those rounds now. Sometimes the CS gods can be cruel to you, even when you're losing 13-2. Stuff like that can happen. And facecrack's also down to 3 health, but here comes the flashbang, and here come the fights. FinigaN looking to fight his way out of this. It's degster with 3 kills, all from the bomb site itself, and the time is way too far gone at this point. ESPADA will be winning this pistol round, will be trying to mount that comeback. almazer just going to be saving the kit at the end here. I've got to say, degster is someone who I talked about as being pretty good in the pistol rounds. I was looking at the pistol stats, and he was like kind of technically best player in the world on pistols if you just put it on for the top 50. I mean, it's a stretch, but he's generally good in the pistols.
I would say it's a very big stretch.
It's obviously against mostly teams that are like 40th in the world.
Yeah. I would like to see him like maybe 1v1 ZOREE first and see how that goes for him, but sure. And off pure statistics, not including what teams they've played,
yeah,
he is the best pistol player in the world based off what Alex said, because I haven't actually checked.
I haven't checked. That could now be wrong because they've been losing a lot, to be honest. That could have changed. I think Simple was in second for what it's worth. So it was just funny seeing like degster above Simple. I just liked it, you know?
Yeah, it didn't last for long, that's for
no.
sure. Here we go. Not a whole lot invested. xsepower saving for that AWP, which is something everybody wants to see. And this is a very safe buy from ESPADA. They've invested mostly into the rifles because they know how important this round will be. It's not about the money making, it's about the grind back. Nice shot from Jerry, but it is only going to be 1. xsepower looking to try and lock them in. Oh dear. And now they might even just go back, although they pretty much killed everybody. It's only going to be Flit, and they have absolutely no idea where he is.
Well, okay, they don't need to know where he is, apparently. Patsi just runs into him, wins the fight with the MAC-10. 13-4 for forZe. They do have to go down to a low buy, though. So at least some rounds for ESPADA. They're going to make it so that they get a few rounds on the board at the very least. Whether the comeback is going to be happening, that's a whole different story. MAC-10s for a couple of players on the ESPADA side should completely chew through the forZe players without Kevlar. Almazer puts down a smoke and gets up close to this half wall. Ooh, he's taking a risk here with the flash through, but the flash is successful. There was a man behind him the entire time, though. FinigaN eventually realizes he's got a kill available to him. And with Patsi winning one of his own, ESPADA still looking good to win this round. Even if the first kill goes in favor of forZe, ESPADA answer back.
Yeah, they've still got to be careful. Some of the remaining positions from these forZe players could make things a little bit interesting. Flip, for example, but it looks like Patsi might check. There is still a man within the site. It's xsepower with a deg. And we all know, well, most of the time what he can do. He did whiff in the last round, but we can forgive that with how well he's been playing so far. Jerry even rotating around the arch side. He's about to get a nasty surprise. It involves being shot in the chest, and xsepower trying to hide in the corner. This time a little bit more clinical, but there's only going to be one, and Flip can't combine for anything else. A bit of damage, but not really the end of the world for ESPADA. Now we get the buy, although it's not quite perfect. We'll see if it's enough.
Yeah, all bought by xsepower. ESPADA fully upgrading their guns, making sure they get the full AKs, which makes sense at this point. There's not much room for error over on the ESPADA side of things. No kits for forZe, which is worth mentioning if we get into a post-plant position. This boost is about to come in, and degster's so blind, but so is almazer. These flashes wreaking havoc on Banana, going both ways with it. But Jerry's going to continue to play close range, and his teammate has been cut off by the molly, so it's Jerry alone who gets traded out. Nice nades by ESPADA, using that molly to force facecrack away, isolating Jerry at the top of Banana, and ESPADA get themselves into a 4v3. Good start to the round for them.
Yeah, not in a bad position whatsoever. xsepower, I think he's realized he might have to make some sort of play. Going to spot anyone out, and in fact it's more of just a lurk from Patsi. They've gambled on the B site. Smoke going to be coming down, attempting to maybe bait away at rotation, and xsepower misses the timing by a split second. That could be everything. Patsi, I think, should have a decent idea of where the AWP is gone, and that's the free kill. Timing was everything. The A site now falls completely, and forZe are forced to save.
Yeah, they may actually get some kills here with ESPADA faking on this B site, or even just going for kills at the end to try and take the guns out of forZe's hands. facecrack wins that first one, though. But forZe have clearly made their decision. They've made up their minds that they will be saving. ESPADA really taking their time with this bomb plant. Finally getting it planted safe on the A site. I wonder if they were trying to bait forZe in to go for the retake here. But that will not be the case. forZe, in particular, Flit and facecrack saving, or at least attempting to, here in round 19.
I don't think there's going to be many players hunting on ESPADA. Their money is not bad, especially for degster, but the chances are he's going to want to invest into an AWP. Although there was one dropped. I'd be a bit disappointed if nobody on ESPADA actually goes to retrieve that gun, especially Patsi, who should have known where it was, and it seems like he has gone to retrieve it. He's found it. He's found the nades. He's not found the AWP though. Missing case of the AWP, and it has actually not been found. So it will have to buy that one up. So that's at least some of the extra cash that degster had will be disappearing. Of course, at this point, ESPADA are going to be buying until either they bring it all the way back or until they lose. Interestingly, though, it's actually not going to be a full investment here from forZe. They're going to save some extra cash. We'll get some rifles. It's not a bad position to be in, especially with the loss bonus, but not fully committing in here.
You also have degster going for the AK rather than the AWP, which he could have afforded. And generally, I know AWPers oftentimes don't like to AWP on the T, so xsepower is so good with the scout.
later. That's probably a good thing he didn't buy an AWP, because he wouldn't have held it for long.
Yeah. I mean, maybe one of his teammates could have got it, you know? And then also got his head ripped off by xsepower. Oh, not again. Okay, xsepower is going to reposition. Sparta don't have the bomb right now, so they should be taking it pretty slow. sLowi's going all the way back to get that bomb, while the rest of his team start to group up, and facecrack's getting boosted with the AK. This is going to be so well timed. Two players not looking his way, but he doesn't get a single kill.
Oh, that is a big mistake. He's now going to be switched to the scout just to give that rifle over. And he doesn't manage to connect tag. Looking like it might just be a weapon save here, but that was a real opportunity. forZe could have taken this round for themselves. Instead, FinigaN just about quick enough, and now it just comes down to how much damage they can do. 2 AKs retrieved, a couple of nades even to be thrown out. I don't think there's going to be killing anyone, but it might soften them up at least enough for almazer to get a kill with this scout. But other than that, just waiting to get their purchase in the next round.
Ooh, nade. Does a bit more damage to sLowi. Bomb's planted on the far side, so most of these players should be safe. I'm not sure if FinigaN has enough health to survive, but he's going into the pit anyway. And Jerry has a nade of his own. Go on, Jerry. Lob it in there. There we go. Here we go. Oh no, he's fluffed it. Oh my goodness.
I'm so disappointed.
That was going to be the highlight of the day.
Dosia is disappointed in you. Bring back the X-God. That's what will save forZe. They need Dosia. That's
what they need. I mean, without the power of Dosia on their side, maybe that's a bad omen for forZe here, you know?
Well, that was a chance to make things really costly as well. Of course, jokes aside, it's he didn't want to lose what he had as well. xsepower, okay, he's going to get one, but now he's left Jerry out to dry. The incendiary will at least keep him going. He's going to retrieve that AWP. Counter nades being expended. I don't think he should go for a re-peek. He's too low on health and is the solo defender of this site. Again, he's been having a pretty good game himself. Smoke's going to be expended. I do wonder if they're going to rotate a player over.
No movement yet. Jerry doesn't have many nades to slow this down either. It's not like he has a smoke or a molly, so I think he needs assistance, which is finally arriving in almazer. Almazer's not exactly being quick on this rotate, but as the smoke comes in, that should give the game away. Jerry there landing a shot with the AWP. It's not critical though. Dima survives on 27 health. Jerry's still got a clear line of sight though. Where's this smoke? It's finally blooming. There is a gap in that, but I don't think it's one that Jerry's going to be able to make the most of. He's going to attempt the shot through the smoke, which won't be successful. So bomb gets planted, and forZe can line up this 4v3 retake. Now a 4v2 thanks to that boost from Flip.
Yeah, Patsi praying that he can find something through, but that isn't to be the case. Timing almost works for degster. He actually gets 2 kills, but the return is fast from forZe. They're going to get their 14th onto the board. Of course, finances are no issue for ESPADA whatsoever, so they are going to be purchasing back up and putting the pressure straight back on to forZe. But that's a good position to be in. They can invest into whatever they desire. And while still only needing 2 rounds, you have to think that eventually forZe are going to close this out.
degster is now going for that T-side AWP, for what it's worth, into this one. There was that boost in the first place from Flip, and yeah, degster did his best to try and fight his way out of it, but there were so many players at CT, even landing some great shots. It wasn't enough that time round. Dima's been able to move up onto top banana. Again, this Molotov from ESPADA just forces forZe away. Ooh, team flashes coming through onto Dima. The synergy has sometimes been a bit off with those nades, and xsepower, speaking of a bit off, gets the timing wrong with that smoke grenade. Just as Patsi peeks, he pulls out the smoke. Luckily, it doesn't cost him his life. Looks like ESPADA have decided to group up heavily over to B here early in this round. I think that smoke should slow them down, though. In fact, lots of players moving back over to the A side of the map here for ESPADA, or at least faking that, before they all group back up on Banana again. So it looks like they are somewhat set on trying to move into this B side of things.
Time starting to tick away, but it's probably not what they were looking for. xsepower gets away, but it is still going to be the execution on the other side. Incendiary yet to go down. It's actually going to be thrown into pool just to try and deny any presence. Dima, he's just burnt all the way to death. Maybe blind at the same time, but it doesn't seem to matter. This B push has been completely shut down. degster not even quick enough to find the first. He does, however, get a second attempt.
Ooh.
Another kill found. They've got to be careful, not wanting to throw away too many weapons, and eventually Jerry is there to close things out. 15-7, just one more needed for forZe. And considering that initial situation, it seemed like it was a very good job done, especially that incendiary. Interestingly thrown not to deny them the push, but to deny them presence onto getting the bomb.
Yeah, we're seeing it, some flashes of degster's individual abilities, his individual prowess in some of these rounds, where he gets these really flashy and snappy 2Ks, but they don't have an impact on the round win, sadly, in the last couple. It's when the round is already over that he's showing up with some impressive frags, and wow, degster taking the fight down mid against xsepower, who is normally really good in that battle, but it's the AK that lands the shot. degster really stepping up in these last couple of rounds. And ESPADA might use that pick to try and move into this A side of the map.
Risky peek. That's actually the bomb down. facecrack's going to try and isolate it here. He's going to get another isolated fight. It seemed like the flashbang worked for him. Even still, though, Flit is left alone. The rotation is coming in. In fact, in full force at that. Every single member of this CT side is waiting. Flit, that's a simple check that should have been made. That's far too easy for him. A free kill onto Patsi, a second, and he will close it. What a performance from the side of forZe. They are going to close this out in a 2-0 fashion. Nothing that it seemed that the opponents of ESPADA could do, especially after that first map loss. And in all honesty, that's more of the forZe that we want to be seeing, where they're performing to a high standard. Sure, there was a miniature comeback. I can't even call it like a fake comeback because I don't think anybody really believed. But ultimately, that's what we want to be seeing from this side.
Yeah, definitely. We saw most of the players show up here on Inferno as well. These are the highlights from earlier, which feels like a long time ago at this point, but this is where forZe did most of their work on this T side. A lot of freedom, a lot of impact from almazer as well, who is someone who sometimes goes a bit quiet for this team, I find. So seeing him show up was always going to be a sign that forZe were going to have a good day if everyone else showed up alongside him.
Oh, I don't want to see
why is this here? Oh.
That was a 1v3 as well.
I know.
There were a few rounds like that where it just seemed like players were whiffing. The other thing as well is sophiX was so dedicated to picking up that AWP. He ended with a total of, I think, 3 kills, unless he got a couple towards the very end of the match. So he had an absolute nightmare. And when your in-game leader and someone who's like normally one of the sort of more consistent like mid-fraggers on the team, you can't have him being inconsistent as well as some of the other players on the roster. So definitely a bit of an issue. Your experienced players sort of letting you down, but basically playing a bit over aggressive in some of these scenarios. And then the young stars were just unable to compete with the sheer firepower that we saw before. So as I said, very impressive performance. This round, well, it was basically a 2v5. I thought it was only 4. If anything, this makes it worse. And yeah, that's a round that you should never, ever lose.
There were a couple of those for ESPADA, in all honesty. That one against xsepower was similar. That fight was so sad for sophiX, getting him down to 1 health and somehow not winning it. Again, there were some flashy moments from degster, especially once he headed onto this T side. That's where he started to go and get some kills and have some impact. Problem was, it never really felt like it was going to matter. When you're 13-2 down already, you can start to win rounds on your T side, you can start to look good, but it never really felt like degster's individual ability was just going to carry them through to victory. Okay. So, some nice signs, but yeah, not much going well for ESPADA.
These shots were pretty nice, but yeah, I get what you, and then like things like this, I think it just came to the end of the game. Like that's an angle that you should check, and the fact that Flit does such a good job of just surviving on the site. Didn't have a lot to do throughout the match, but helped them close it. And well, he's pretty much helped us close out the show. Of course, you do see a wild degster in the middle of basically some fantastic players from forZe. Of course, this is sorted by kills, so he actually has a hell of a lot of deaths. So if you actually look at the ratings for the remaining players, it's mainly just because they didn't have much to do. Jerry actually ends at the top, which is something that happens actually not. It's not that uncommon, because like Jerry is one of those fragging in-game leaders, something we always like to see. But yeah, that was one of the most like dominating performances I think we have seen and maybe will see throughout the playoff stage. And obviously that is pretty much it for today. We have completed our 2 best-of-3s. There are going to be plenty of matches coming over the next, well, now 6 days. And you got any closing words, Hawker?
No, just a good day of CS. I mean, kind of a good day of CS and a bad day of CS at times, but we'll
Bad
focus
for
on the good.
Endpoint. Let's
Oh,
put it
yeah,
that
that's
way.
for sure.
And ESPADA. But either way, they'll be heading into the lower bracket. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. We will be back again tomorrow for some more Hellcase Cup 8.